In this part, we are going to talk about operators in Java, what they are, how they work, and how you can use them to perform calculations, compare values, and make decisions in your programs. So by the end of this part, you will understand all the main types of operators in Java with the practical examples. So let's dive in. Operators are symbols that perform operations on variables and values. Java has several types of operators, and we will go through them one by one. The first category that we have are the arithmetic operators. These are used for mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and many others. Okay, so for example, I have here a piece of code which I created inside the arithmetic operators.java file here. As you can see in my current folder that I'm in, these are the files that I have. Okay, these are the ones that I have, but we shall go through one of them, each of them one by one. Okay, each of them one by one. Okay, so here the first one that we are going to first work with is the arithmetic operators.java file. Okay, so this one, this is the code that is inside that file. Okay, arithmetic operators.java. Okay, so you should note that this class name should be the same as the file name. Okay, in Java. Okay, so inside here, let me explain what is taking place. So here we have created a variable. Let me decrease the font. So here we have created two variables of integer data type, okay, that contain integers. Okay, so a and b. A contains 10 and b contains 3. Okay, so here after doing that, we are going to start using the arithmetic operators. Okay, so the first one is the addition operator. Okay, and the second one is the subtraction operator, and the second one is the third one is the multiplication operators, followed by division operators, and then the modulus operators. So I think you know all these ones, okay, except for the modulus. Okay, for those who have never seen it, the modulus operator, what it does, it divides a and it divides a by b, and then it returns the remainder. Okay, so if the remainder is 0, it is going to return 0. If the remainder is 1, it is going to return 1. Okay, it always returns a remainder after division, okay, of that number. Okay, so for example, if we divide if we get a, we divide by b, we are going to get 3 remainder 3 like that. Okay, we are going to get 3 remainder 1. Okay, so we are going to get 3 remainder 1. If we get 3 remainder 1, the remainder is 1. Okay, which means that remainder is the one that we are going to return. Okay, so let us see the output. So if we try to save, and then we go in the terminal, and then we try to compile. Let us try to compile using Java compiler, and here the name of the file is called arithmetic operators.java, like that. So if we wait for the compilation to finish, let us wait. So when it is done, we are going to press again. We are going to type let me delete everything here. So we are going to use Java arithmetic operators, like that. So as you can see here, we get this is the output that we get. Okay, so we get the first one for the addition, a plus b, we get 13. For the subtraction, we get 7. A minus b, we get 7. And then here we get for the multiplication, 10 times 3, we get 30. Then for the division, 10 divided by 3, it's going to return 3 without the remainder. Okay, so if you have if you have try to store this value, okay, in a float variable, okay, it's going to return a float pointing number. Okay, but here it is by default, it's going to return an integer. Okay, which means an integer, we know that an integer does not have floating numbers. Okay, it does not have decimal points. Okay, for the integers. Okay, so if we change this division, this one, and we store it in a variable of a floating point number, data type is going to return a float point number data type. Okay, so here we are going to have, here we will be having 3.0 333 like that, okay, according to the number of decimal places that we have specified, okay. And then for the modulus, as you can see, when we divide 10 by 3, we are going to get a remainder which is 1. We are going to get 3 remainder 1, okay. So that is the output. That's how we can use arithmetic operators, okay. So if you need to find if a number is even or odd, the modulus is perfect, okay, for that. The modulus sign is perfect for that, okay. So let us now take a look at assignment operators. So for the assignment operators, I also created a file for that where we're going to be learning all that. So let me close this one and then we open the assignment operators.java file, okay. So you should create it, okay. So it looks like this. So I told you the class name should be the same as the file name, okay. So let me reduce on this terminal window so that you can see what the code looks like, okay. So as you can see here, let me minimize a bit. So this is the whole code of the inside this assignment operators.java file, okay. So this is the name of the file, assignment operators. This one, let me copy it. I will use it later. So as you can see, so inside here we have one variable which is called x, okay, x variable, and it contains integer data, okay. So here we have you first use a simple assignment, okay. So here when we this is called here we have declared and initialized, okay. On this first line we have declared x and we have initialized it to 10, okay. So after that we can do here what we call a simple assignment, okay, operation. So we can do we can also set here, down here we can come down and then we set x to be 11 like that, okay. So it is now going to be 11, okay. So let us go back to 10. So our x is now 10. So let us take a look at these rest, okay, which are called the compound assignments, okay. So this one, when we get x and then we use this one plus or equals to the certain number, okay, this one is going to be the same as saying that x is equals to the previous x, then we add, then we are going to add, then we add 5 to the previous x, then we store it in x, okay, like that, okay. So that is what it means, okay. So you get the previous x and in this case it is 10, and then you add 5 on it, we get 15. Then you get that 15, you store it in x, okay. So our new x is going to be containing 10, okay. So that is all. So if we delete this one and if we try to output it, let us use sort system.out. But let me just get this code here. I don't want to waste time in typing instead of explaining, so I want to waste time in explaining rather than typing. So let me save. So this one is going to be the final one, and then this one is going to be the second final. So if we come here, let us come down here in the terminal, and then we use CLS, okay. And then we try to compile. So this one we are going to use arithmetic operators. This one's. So this one is going to be assignment operators because it is our file name. It is the name of our file. So let me delete everything, paste arithmetic operators.java. So Java arithmetic operators.java. If we try to compile, let us wait. So our compilation is done. Let us now try to run our program. Let us remove this .java extension, and then we'll try to compile it like that. So if we try to compile it, as you can see, we get 15, okay. So we have added 5 on the previous x, and then we get that x and that value, and then we store it in x, which means our new x is 15, okay, which we have outputted here, okay, right here on this line, okay. So we can remove it. So I think you have understood that one, okay. So this one, we go to the next line. So this one, we now have 15, x is now 15, okay. So we go to the next line. So the next line we have this minus x minus or equals to 2, okay. So this one is the same as like when we were using plus. This one is the same as saying that x is equals to the previous x, then subtract 2 from it, okay, from the previous x, like that. Okay, they are the same. Okay, this code is the same as this one. Okay, they are the same, okay. So we are going to get the previous x is 15. Okay, so that 15 we are going to subtract 2 and we are going to have 13. So here we should know that we have 13. Okay, so in this line we have 13, on this one we have 15, so this one we have 13. Okay, so here we are going to have 10 on this line, 10, like that. Okay, so let us go on to the next line. So on this line, this one, x multiplied by x asterisk equals to 3. It's the same as saying that, let us say x is equals to x, previous x, then multiply by 3, like that. They are the same. I think you get the concept. Okay, so they are the same. Okay, I think you get what the trait is. Okay, so this one now the previous x is 13. If you multiply by 13, we're going to get, like, is it going to be 39? Okay, 39, which means here we are going to have 39, like that. Okay, so let us go on to the next line. On this line we are going to use this one. Okay, so x forward slash equals to 2. So what we are going to have here, this one is going to be the same as saying x equals to the previous x, which is 39, then we divide by, let us divide by 2, like that. So when we try to divide by 2, I think we are going to get 19 point something. Okay, we are going to get 19 point something. So that is it, So here I think we are going to get 19 point something, I don't know, but 19 point. So after there, what we are going to do here, we are going to this next line, we have this code, which is the same as saying x is equals to the previous x, which is 19 point something, then we divide by, let us we divide by remember, when we use this modulus, let me show you. When we use this modulus, this code is the same as this one. Okay, they are the same. Okay, so they are the same. So here, this one, remember, the modulus returns the remainder. Okay, gets the x divided by 4 and then it returns the remainder of that operation. Okay, so the remainder, I think it will be somehow, will it be it will be around I think 1 1 1 1. No, it will be around 3, like that. So let me without guessing, so let us try to output the final x and we see if we get that output. So if I save and then we come in the terminal, and then we have assignment operators Java. Okay, let us try to compile. So when we compile and then we try to run, as you can see, we get the output, which is 3. Okay, so we get this 3 as the output, so which means our guess was right. Okay, so if you have understood what I've taught, it means you have understood, you have learned how to use the assignment operators. Okay, they are very tricky and they are mostly used. Okay, so you should learn them. Okay, let us now take a look at another category, which are called the comparison operators, or you can call them the relational operators. These are operators, okay, that are used to compare two values, okay, and return Boolean result, which is in form of true or false. Okay, yeah. So let us take a look at some examples. Okay, let us take a look at examples here. So and for that, I created a file. So we have a file for that. We have, they are called the comparison operators there. The file is right here. Comparison operators. The class name is the same as the file name. Okay, I think you have noted that. Okay, so if I copy, let me copy that one. We are going to use it later. Okay, so here we have two variables, a and b. Okay, a and b. So the assignment operators are these ones: equal, equals, not equal. So this one means not, then equal. Okay, not equals. Okay, not equals, then greater than, less than, greater than, or equals to, and less than or equal to. Okay, so from there, as you can see here, we are going to try to output. So this one, a equals to b, is a equals to b. It is going to return false because 10 is not equals to 20. Okay, 10 is not equals to 20, guys, so it is going to return false. So here we think it's going to return false. Okay, there. So let us go on to the next line. So this one is going to return, so A is not equals to B. Yes, it is not equals to B, so it is going to return true. Okay, true. Okay, true. And then we go to the next one. So A is greater than B. Is A greater than B? It is false. Okay, it is not greater than. Is A, then on the next line, A is less than B. Yes, it is less than B, so it is going to return a true. Okay, then let us go to the next line. Is A greater than or equals to B? No, it is not greater than or equals to B, so we are going to, it is going to return false. And the next last line, we have A is less than or equals to B, which is true. Okay, so let us try to run and we'll see what we are going to get if what I guessed is correct. So this one we are going to compile, but the name of the file is called comparison operators.java. If we press enter and then we wait for the comparison to finish, so when it has done, let us remove this Java extension, and then this C, so we get it. So this is the output. So as you can see, the first two were correct, false, true. Okay, as you can see, and these ones, A greater than B, as you can see, it is false, and the rest, okay, like that. So that's how you can use the relational operators. Okay, so these operators are used in conditions, okay, especially in if statements. For example, checking if one number is greater than the other. Okay, we usually use comparison operators. Okay, so let us take a look at another category, which are called the logic operators. Okay, and these ones are used to combine multiple Boolean expressions. Okay, so and for that I created a file for that we are going to work with. Let me close these ones. Okay, and then come here. These ones are called the logical operators, so I have a file for that. Logic operators, let me, okay, so logic operators, so the name of the file is logic operators .java extension. Copy the Java extension. So you should note the upper cases, okay, the uppercase letters that I use. Okay, this one is called the camel case combination. Okay, so you should know that. So let us take a look at these logical operators. Okay, so as we say that these ones are used to combine multiple Boolean expressions. Okay, for example, so here we have two variables. We have the is adult and the has a ticket. Okay, and the is adult is set to true and the has ticket is set to false. Okay, so here we are going to see how we can use them. So the first, the ones that we have the and even the or. We have the and, the or, and the not. Okay, so the and, this one returns when both conditions are true. Okay, when both conditions are return true. Okay, so let me explain this one. So let us first run. I want to explain as you see the output. Okay, I want to explain as you see the output. Let me try to compile. Let me try to compile logic operators to Java. So after compiling, let me run. Okay, logic operators to Java. Let me remove this extension. Then I run. So as I run, so this one, the and operator, this one is returns. Okay, it returns true when both conditions are true. Okay, so these conditions, we have the is and, which is set to true, and the has ticket, okay, which is set to false, which means not all conditions are true. Okay, one of them is false, which means it is going to return false. Okay, so and if one of the condition is false, it's going to return false. Okay, so if we save and then we compare, as you can see, we got this output which is false. Okay, so another one, the or, this one returns true if one of the condition is true. Okay, so and one of the condition, which is the is adult, was set to true, which means it is going to return a true. Okay, so as you can see here, we have returned true. Okay, so and this one, the not, I think you have seen it, the not, this one, not is adult is going to return the opposite of the is adult. Okay, and in this case the is adult was set to be true, which means it's going to return the opposite of the true, which is false. Okay, so if we try to change this true to false like that, and then we save, try to compile. Let us try to compile again, and then let us try to compile, and then we run. As you can see, we get true. Okay, so we get true, so it has returned the opposite of false, which is true. Okay, so these ones are essential in decision making. Okay, so for example, okay, like in logic systems or access controls. Okay, we usually use logic operators. Okay, for example, if you want to check if someone is admin, you can use the is admin operator, and then you operator of the data type boolean, and then you determine. Okay, you do some operations, okay, with that variable. Okay, so let us now take a look at another category, which are called the increment and decrement operators. Okay, so let us take a look at those ones. Okay, and for that case, I created a file for that one also. So let me close this one. So we have the increment and decrement operators. Okay, so these ones are easy, and you have seen them. Okay, so these ones are going to increment. They always increment by 1 or decrement by 1. Okay, so these ones increment or decrement, or increase or decrease, okay, a value by 1. Okay, so let us take a look. So here we have we have our variable. Let me reduce on this window so that you can see everything. So here we have our variable x, which we have stored 5 in it, and here we use the system.out.print line so to output this one. Okay, so here we have this these two operators. Okay, these ones. So this is only one operator. We have two pluses, okay, double plus signs. Okay, and the combination of these two result into what we call the increment operator. Okay, so this one is called the increment operator. Okay, and this one is going to add 1 first. Okay, and then prints 6. Okay, so as you can see, so this one is called you can term it as what we call the pre-increment. Okay, so it is going to add 1 first to what, to the previous, which means 5 is going to add 1 to 5, and then it is going to print out 6. Okay, so if we try to save, let us save, and we see what are we going to output. Are we going to output the 5, the previous 5, or we are going to output the 6? Okay, so if we save and then we try to compile, so this one's called the increment decrement operator. So let me copy everything, copy this class name because it is the same as the file name. If I copy, then I go in the terminal and then I try to use it there, and I try to compile. Then from there, let me remove this extension so that we can run this our code. So as you can see here, and on the first line we have returned 6. Okay, so this one is called the pre-increment. Okay, we increment and then we return the value. Okay, so which means 5 is not returned. Okay, so we increment, we first increment. Okay, after incrementing we use that value. Okay, well, that's what we call the pre-increment. And this one is called the post-increment. Okay, when these increment operators, okay, are last. Okay, when they go when you put them at the end, okay, of that variable name. Okay, these ones are now called the post-increment. Okay, this one prints first. Okay, we first print the value first, the value in that variable first, and then we add 1 to it. Okay, so after doing that, and when we try to print out x, as you can see, x was incremented to 7, although that value was not used at that same time. Okay, so x is now 7. Okay, so let us take a look at another one. Another one is called the decrement operators. Okay, and this one is also called like this one is called the pre-increment, the pre-decrement. Okay, the pre-decrement operator. Okay, so this one, what it does, it subtracts 1 first, and then it prints out 6. Okay, so as you can see here, we have subtracted 1 from 7, and then we have printed out our value. Okay, so this one, we go to the next. This one is called the post increment. We first output the value, which means our previous x is what? Our previous x is 6, and then we increment, which means our new x is 5. I think so. It's 5. So let us try to output. Let us try to output the value for x. Let me just copy this code, copy, and then we paste there. Then we save. So when we save, and then we try to use a Java compiler to compile, and then let us wait a little bit. Okay, after compiling, let us run. As you can see, we get 5. Okay, so this is called the post increment. We first use the value, and then we decrement it. Okay, we decrement, and then we store it in x. Okay, so that is it about the increment and decrement operators. Okay, so so we are going to take a look at the next categories, which are called the bitwise operators. Okay, and these ones are only for advanced use. Okay, and they are used to perform operations. Okay, operations at the bit level. Okay, so if you want to work with memory, if you want to work with memory, you will need to use bitwise operators. Okay, so let us take a look at an example. And for that, I created a file also. So here, let us go and then we'll look for bitwise operators. Bitwise operators, it is right here. Bitwise operators .java. Okay, right there. So here, as you can see, bitwise operators. So as I told you that these ones are used to perform operations at the bit level. Okay, so let me explain what is happening here. So here we have two variables. We have let me reduce on this window so that you can see all the code, but my mouse has got a simple problem because okay guys, I'm not going to argue with this mouse. So as you can see, this is the all code. Okay, so here we have public class bitwise operators, then public static void main, then we here inside here we have two variables. We have a and b. A equals to 5 and b equals to 3. Okay, then let us take a look at the output. Okay, what we are going to be outputting. Okay, so at first here we have this first output where we are going to use the ampersand. Okay, and this one is called the AND operator. Okay, the AND bitwise operator. Okay, so let me show you the binary, okay, of these numbers. Okay, for example, we have for 5 it is 0 1 0 1. Okay, that is for 5. Okay, that's for 5. And then for what, for 3 we have is it let me remember, is it 0 0 1 1? Yeah, 0 0 1 1. Okay, so that is the binary for 5, 3 and 5. Okay, so let me show you here. So here when we use the ampersand, we are going to return a 1 because we are going to get a 0. We are going to get the 0 1 0 1, and then and we use the and we use an and. Okay, then 0 0 1 1. Okay, so it is going to be like this. It's going to be 0 1 0 1 like that, and which is the ampersand, and 0 0 1 1. Okay, which is going to give us I think it's going to be 0 0 0 1. Okay, like that. Okay, but where are we getting that output? So that output we are getting it after using this one. So this one, let me show you. Okay, so but before I tell you what is happening, let me tell you this. Bitwise operators are powerful for working with binary data. Okay, permissions or low-level operations. Okay, and for permissions, for those who have ever used the Linux, okay, you know these permissions, but I would like to explain this one deep, but I created this part in order to cater for beginners, so I don't want to bring in more complex parts. Okay, so I want a way to explain this one, but let us just go through. So this one is going to return, just know it is going to return 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. Okay, so I will release a video for advanced concepts, okay, where I will include these bitwise operators, okay, so that you get to understand them. So on this one, so let us go to this line, and this line we are using the or operator, okay, and this one, what is going to do is going to return 7. Yeah, I think 7. Yeah, 7. So because we are going to we have the 0 0.00, we have 0 1 0 1, and then we are going to get something which is equivalent to 0 1 1 1, like that. Okay, so this one, you should note that this first one is a representation of 1. Okay, this one is a representation of 1, and the next one is a representation of 2. Okay, so 1 plus 2, we get what? We get 3. Okay, and the next one is a representation of 4. Okay, so for example, it is like this, it is like this, it is like this. So it is like we have the first one, we have, it is like let me show you, it's like 8 8 4 2 and then 1. Okay, 1. So 1 for this first one, okay, and then 2 for this second, and then 4 for this third, and then 0 for 8 for this fourth one, which is 0. Okay, so here, when this first one, when this first one is set to 1, which means that this one is going to be added. Okay, it's going to be added. And when the next one is set to 1 again, it means 2 is going to be added. Okay, 2 is going to be added. And when the next one, which is in the third position, is 1, is true, it means even 4 is going to be added. And when this last one, which is 0, and when this last one is set to 0, it means that this 8 is not going to be added. Okay, I think you get the concept. And even this one, the reason as to why I told you that it is going to return a 1, because when we get this one, so this one here we have 1, we have 1 here, as you can see, 1, and then here we have 4. Okay, so 1 and 4 is going to be equals to 5. Okay, then 5, here we are going to get 1. Okay, 1 and then 2. Okay, which is going to return us for us a 2. Okay, which is going to give us this value. Okay, so guys, there is a change. Okay, there is some bit of complexity that is going on. Okay, but first look at what is going to be outputted. You are going to learn the concepts. Okay, these advanced concepts. Later I will release a video for that. Okay, specifically for bitwise operations. Okay, where I will explain these ones. Okay, deeply. Okay, when you have understood the concepts. But I created this part in order to cater for beginners. Okay, so this one, we have the next one, which is called the XOR. Okay, the XOR, or you can call it exclusive or you can call it the XOR. Okay, whatever you want, but just know it is like this, XOR, like that, XOR, but in capital, like that, XOR. Okay, is like that. Okay, and this one is going to return for us. So the first one I told you was 1. It was 1, so this was 1. So here, this one I told you it is going to return a 1. Or let me just give you the output. So this one is, I told you it is going to return a 1, and this one is going to return a 7. Okay, and this one, the next one, is going to return a 6. Okay, it's going to return a 6. Okay, yeah, according to what I see, it's going to return a 6. And this one, we have the next one, which is called the note. Okay, this one, the note, we're using some sort of like squiggle. Okay, squiggle, and this one is going to return for us -6, I think. Yeah, -6, because here we have the previous. Okay, here we have 6, so it is going to return as the negative, okay, of this previous one. Okay, so which means we are going to return a -6. Okay, -6, like that. Okay, so you are going to see what is going to happen when I compile. Okay, so then from there we use these ones. We use the left shift. This one is called the left shift. Okay, left shift, and this one is called the right shift. Okay, and this one, what is going to do is going to shift, okay, the number, okay, to the left. Okay, so this one we are going to get a 10. Okay, here when we try to use the bits, we are going to get 10, I think so. So here we are going to get 10, and there for the right shift, we are going to shift the bits to the right. Okay, so which is going to give us I think it's going to be 2. Okay, so it is going to be 2, I think 2. It's going to be 2. So when I try to compile, let me compile. So these ones are not going to affect our code, they are just comments. So if I try to compile, so these ones are called bitwise operators. Okay, so let me remove this one. Java, then bitwise operators dot Java. Okay, dot Java, like that. So if I try to compile and then I try to run, let me try to run using the Java command. So here, as you can see, what I've told you, I told you that this one's, as you can see, it has returned 2, this one 10, negative 6, 6, 7, and 1. Okay, so as you can see, so that was the output of bitwise operators. As I told you, these ones are only used to perform operations at the bit level, and they are for advanced use. Okay, so you don't need to worry if you have not understand, if you have not got it. Okay, I know 99% of you have not understood if you have just started, okay, with Java. Okay, I know you have not understood, but just relax. Okay, you are going to learn this with time. Okay, you are going to learn this with time. Okay, so let us now take a look at another category which are called the ternary operators. Okay, and these ones are like you can call them the if-else statements. Okay, they are, if you don't know about if else statements, okay, if else statements are like conditions, okay, that we use, okay, to make our code make decisions. Okay, so this one, so for example, let me show you here the ternary operator. I have an example here. Ternary operator, where is the ternary operator? So it is right there, ternary operator. So this one you can call them like, you can like in simplicity you can say that like if else. Okay, if else statements. Okay, they're like if else statements. So here, as you can see, we have the first variable which is called the age. It contains integer which is 18. Then here we create another variable called the result. Okay, and this result is going to return a string. It's going to contain a string. Okay, a string of data type. So here, as you can see, these are the two options. Okay, the two strings. Okay, one of them is going to be returns. Okay, basing on the condition. Okay, whether it is true or false. If it is true, if this condition inside here, this pair of parentheses is true, it means that this one is going to be returned. This string is the one that is going to be stored in the result variable. Okay, so otherwise, if it is false, it means this one is the one that is going to be stored in the results variable. Okay, so we use these ones. We use these ternary operators. These ones. Okay, we use the question mark and even this colon. Okay, question mark, colon. Okay, colon, then what we want to output if the condition is false, and then this one, question mark, then what we want to output if the condition is true. Okay, so after there, then we output the condition. So you should note that the age, we have set it to 18, which means 18 greater than or equals to 18. Yes, it is equal. It is not greater than, but it is equals, which sets the condition to be true, which means we are going to store you can vote string in the result variable. Okay, and then we are going to output it. So if we save and then we go down here and then we try to compile, let us try to compile. So these ones are called the ternary operators. So Java ternary operators.java. Let us wait. Okay, so when it is done, let us remove this one. Then we'll remove this C compilation. This quick for compiler. As you can see, we have outputted you can vote. Okay, we have output that. Okay, So let us now take a look at another special concept when we are working with operators, and it is called the operator precedence. For example, if you are using arithmetic operators, okay, so when multiple operators appear in one expression, Java follows the precedence rules, just like math is order of operations, which you know is called body mass. Okay, so let us take a look at an example here. So I have an example here. It is called they are called the what they called operator precedence, the Java here. So here we have an expression here, right here, and we have used multiple operators. We have used the plus and then the multiplication. But according to the math order of operation or body mass, I think multiplication is the first. Multiplication is the first before addition, which means we are going to first multiply 5 times 2. We are going to get 10, and then we add the 10 to 10, and then we get the 20 as the output. So I think we are going to get 20 as the output. Okay, so but here, right here, for those who don't know about body mass, you might think that we are going to first add. We are going to get 10 plus 5, and then we multiply by 2. So 10 plus 5 we get 15 times 2, which is 30, and that answer will be wrong. Okay, according to math's order of operation. So let us try to compile, and we see our output. So these ones are called operator precedence, like that. Okay, so when we try to compile and then we try to run, as you can see, we get 20 out. Okay, so operator precedence, you should study about the math's order of operations, because it will be helpful for those who don't know. Okay, you should study about it. Okay, body mass, okay, so play around with the operators, and we shall use them in future parts. Okay, where I will be teaching you advanced concepts. Okay, so stay there as I bring the next part.